Okay, so the first thing you want to do is draw the profile of the crown molding that you'd want within your room. You're going to do that at the corner at a 45-degree angle, and then you're going to connect all the little bumps and the little edges, the corners of this crown molding. And then you're going, for the side walls, you're going to array whatever those lines you originally drew from the vanishing point. Okay, so for the back wall, it's going to be horizontal lines. For the side walls, they're going to be lines that array from the vanishing point. So you're going to do that. They're going to be tight little lines, and that's all it is. It's for every bump and curve, you're going to have the ins and outs, you're going to have a line, and that's what's going to apply crown molding. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the ceiling medallion. You're going to find the center point, so I've dotted that there. This is the center point of the back wall, and then you're going to do the center point of the side wall. So you're going to do the count overall, and then you're going to count the midpoint, and you're going to make a dot just like that. So you're trying to find the midpoint of the room. So I'm going to do a light guideline there, and then I'm going to do another light guideline from the vanishing point. So that is the center of my room. Then I'm going to figure out the width of the overall medallion. So, I offset it 2 feet from the center. So I make that little point on the ceiling line. So you're using the grid just like you would do the furniture plan boxes, but you're doing this now on the ceiling. So you're using the grid to find the overall size of the center medallion. So this is the medallion location. I do my little X trick so that I can draw an oval, and that would be your medallion. So that at that point you're just drawing from your reference point so that you can get the look. Now you can draw the where the light fixture comes from. You're going to do that from the center and then drop it into the room. If you have any kind of ceiling design, some ceiling molding like this one, you can either do those little corner details, or you can do a liner, a picture plane all the way around. So that part is completely up to you. So you're going to again use the grid as your guideline. In this one I have it going 4 from each side wall and 4 inside from the front and the back wall. So here is that kind of guideline that I've drawn, and so that might be where the moldings will occur. So if you have it more curvilinear, you can use that as the basic guideline for all where your curves are going to be. So that part is totally up to you, but that's basically how I would approach any kind of molding. So again, with the crown molding, but with the ceiling molding, now you're just going to offset several tight lines, so that gives you the illusion of some kind of molding that's being applied to the ceiling. Here I've got some curves at the corners, so again I'm just doing a bunch of tight lines to give this illusion of applied molding for the ceiling plane. Next up is the chandelier. So when you do the chandelier, we already drew where the ceiling was gonna, where it would be coming in from the ceiling. But the next thing you're gonna do is to create an elevation of sorts on the back wall. So here on the back wall, on that grid, I am drawing where it's going to be the lowest point there. Then I'm going to measure the overall width of it. So if it's like a 4-foot chandelier size, I'm giving this as the overall 4 feet. This is an elevation, okay? So I'm working on the grid. Then I'm figuring out the overall height. The overall height is like 32. So here is, it's almost like I'm drawing a box for the overall dimension. I'm not drawing the actual elevation of the chandelier. I'm drawing the space it would take up. Then I'm going to do it the same thing, but for the side wall. So here is my midpoint that I had used for my ceiling medallion, but now I'm following this line here. So I can say, okay, this is where the lowest point of this chandelier will be. So you could do this with a ceiling fan, you can do it with any kind of light fixture. You're using 2 walls for this information. And again, this is my 30-foot ceiling height, chandelier height. So now you're using the vanishing point from the back wall. And because my vanishing point is on the same line as my light fixture, it looks like a straight line. But you can see from the side bit that that there's perspective to it. So it's almost like word art being extruded from the back wall. Okay, and now you're going to use the side wall information. So this is kind of like the depth of where it comes forward into the room. So you're going to do it for the top part and the bottom part and the back. So it kind of looks like a box that now is hanging from the ceiling. So now you can see this is where the light fixture will be in terms of where it is within the space of the ceiling. So you're going to use this box now as a guideline. So when you're drawing the chandelier or ceiling fan or whatever light fixture you have, now you know that, okay, this is approximately where this light fixture is in space. So, but you kind of, again, you have to use your reference image. So it doesn't, you don't want to like bloat it up to fit the box. You want to use the box as simple location of where it is. So you're still going to use your guidelines, your center guidelines, so that if it's something that's symmetrical, like this is a chandelier, so it's going to be symmetrical. Whatever's on the left is going to be the same thing as whatever's on the right. So you're going to still use that information to help you draw something that's symmetrical. So again, you're going to use the center guideline of the chandelier and then the overall height. So where my box had started, I'm using that as the overall height of the chandelier, and then I'm just going to detail it out. Right now, because it's my rough draft, it's really very, very loose and very, very rough. So I'm kind of just getting the basic components of the chandelier. And so when I start to draw it on the good paper, that's where I'll take the time to detail all the little components. But this one, I'm just trying to fill up the physical space and see, okay, this is where my ceiling fan is actually located. And so this is how you're going to be drawing a chandelier or ceiling fan or any kind of light fixture and any kind of ceiling detail that you have. Remember, this is the rough draft. Don't spend your time working on all the details on the rough draft, because when you get to the good paper, that's where you're going to, take the time to really detail out the components of your design on the good paper, not on the rough draft.